Hi there, friends. My name is Dorina Lazo Gilmore Young, and I am so delighted to be with you today. I want to say thank you to the Filipino School of New York and New Jersey and the Bergenfield Public Library for inviting me today to share a little bit about some of my children's books. As a children's author, it is one of my joys to be able to share my books with kids of all ages. And today I want to share with you one of my new books. But first of all, I wanted to mention a couple of other books and some you might be familiar with. This is my first book, Cora Cook's Pancit, and it came out several years ago. And then last year I had a new book released that's called Chasing God's Glory. This year, I had a new book come out that I'm going to be sharing from today called Kailani's Gift. And this is a book that I actually wrote more than 10 years ago, not long after I wrote my Cora Cook's Pancit book. But this was the year that Kailani's Gift found its home and found its way to bookshelves near you. This is a book about a young Filipino girl who is learning how to dance a traditional dance called the tininkling. I'm wondering if any of you have ever danced the tininkling, and I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I've discovered along the way that there are actually a good number of adults who learned the tininkling when they were younger in PE classes here in the United States. And then there's a lot of Filipino families who have taught their kids, or their kids have learned how to do the tininkling, which is a fun dance that uses bamboo poles, and you dance between the poles, as you're going to hear about in my book. This is also a book about perseverance. It's a book about growing our gifts and then using those gifts to bless others. And this is a fiction book, meaning that it's not true, but at the same time, there are characters in this book that are modeled after some of my family, my cousins, my daughters, my sister even. And this little girl, Kailani, in many ways is a girl that reminds me of me when I was younger, and even my three daughters as they have pursued different hobbies and different talents throughout their lifetime. So I hope that this book encourages you today. I'm going to give you a little taste of it. I'm not going to read the whole book, but to let you look inside the pages and get a feel for what Kailani's Gift is all about. So here's the book. And we're going to read some pages of it together. I hope you can see the illustrations too. Kailani's Gift. The illustrations are by Leonor Bontegao, who is a Filipino-American illustrator as well. Only one more week until Lolo and Lola's big anniversary party. Kailani skipped into the garage where her sisters and brother were rehearsing their tininkling dance for the celebration. With swift motions, Marisol and Maile spread two bamboo poles wide, smacking them against the garage floor twice, and then they clapped the poles together. Kailani watched as Xandro and Imelda jumped between the moving poles. They twirled with the music as their bare feet danced. Out, out, in. Hop, hop, half spin, hop, hop, reverse. Out, out, in. Hop, hop, half spin, hop, hop, reverse. Kailani didn't want to be left out. She waited until Imelda hop-hopped away to get a drink. This was her chance. I want to try, she said. Xandro hopped, spun, slapped the ground, and jumped away from the poles. You sure you want to try, little sis? Xandro asked without skipping a beat. Tininkling isn't easy. Maybe you should stick with ring around the rosy. Kailani hung her head. Marisol nodded for Kailani to sit. You have to learn the rhythm first, see? Like this. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Kailani repeated the rhythm in her head. The poles click, click, clicked. Now you try, Marisol said. Maybe you can be part of our dance for the anniversary party. Kailani clutched the heavy poles and tried to recreate the pattern. Oops! Out, out, clunkety, plunk, plunk, plunk. One pole slipped from her hand and rolled onto the garage floor. Xandro sighed, You're too clumsy. Go inside and color a nice picture for the party. Before Kailani could respond, Mama poked her head into the garage. The smell of pancit and adobo chicken wafted after her. Dinner's ready. Help set the table. The others rushed inside. Kailani started to follow, but decided to wait when she saw Daddy pulling into the driveway. What's all this? He sat on the floor across from Kailani, searching her sad eyes. I really want to dance for the party, but Xandro thinks it's too hard for me. Too hard, Daddy chuckled. All you need is a good dance teacher, and I happen to know one. Who? Me? I used to dance the Tininkling, you know, Daddy winked. You did? Kailani's eyes widened. Teach me, please. Let's get dinner first, he said, swinging Kailani onto his back for a ride. After dinner, Daddy used a piece of chalk to draw 2 bright lines on the garage floor. Focus on your feet, not the poles. Watch how I tap my feet between the imaginary poles. Kailani stood behind Daddy and copied his steps. In, out. In, out. But her legs got tangled. This is super duper hard, Kailani said. Xandro was right. Remember when you learned to jump rope, Daddy asked? Kailani nodded. She liked jump rope. Okay, friends, I'm going to stop reading there just because I wanted to give you a taste of Kailani's gift, and I hope that you will head over to your library or local bookstore and grab a copy of Kailani's gift. So I have a question for you. Have you ever done something that was super duper hard, like Kailani is describing in this book? Have you ever tried something new and felt like you maybe weren't good at it right away? I know I have had several opportunities in my life to feel that when I was starting to try something new. I used to play piano when I was younger, and so I definitely felt that when I was practicing piano and learning new songs. I also was a dancer when I was in elementary school, and so I took tap dance classes and jazz classes, ballet classes, and every time we started to rehearse a new number, I remember feeling kind of nervous, kind of insecure the way that Kailani feels. And yet the more that I practiced, the more that I put in the time, and thankfully had some amazing teachers and coaches along the way, little by little, I was able to get it. And I also had the wonderful experience of being able to bless others with those gifts and talents. When I performed at piano recitals, when I got to dance for my friends or my family the way that Kailani does. And so I want you to think about something in your life maybe that you've always been wanting to try, or maybe that you're just starting to learn. And I hope that you can receive a little bit of encouragement from my friend Kailani. Thanks for letting me be with you here today. I would love to stay in touch with all of you. You can head over to my website at dorinagilmore.com, and there's more details about my book, my other books. There's lots of freebies there for parents and for teachers and for kids too, if you want to engage with other books that feature Filipino American heritage. Salamat po. Thank you.